our talk tonight is going to be about cholesterol because everybody is so scared of cholesterol. Oh my God, my numbers are horrible. My numbers are going to go up. My doctor said that I can't do this. I'm on, what is it, statins? Like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. It is so bad for you to do keto long term. Let's just debunk some of those things and let's give them the science behind it, shall we?
Well, again, for the biggest question I have when people say, when I get to do this question live and I get the questions and answers back and forth, I'll ask them, so why are you checking your cholesterol? They're like, because low cholesterol is good for your health. I'm like, wait, which health exactly are we talking about here? Because there are several studies out there that show a hearty level of cholesterol is actually a predictor of longevity and health. And they're like, what? No. You're reading the wrong stuff. You need low cholesterol to be healthy. And I'm like, are you talking about your heart? Is that what you want me to help you with? Is your heart disease? And they're like, yes, you'll die of a heart attack if you have high cholesterol. I'm like, no, let's try that again. You're right that we thought if we lowered cholesterol, we were going to improve the risk of heart attacks. This was a theory. It was thrown out there, and amazing research was put behind there to take medications to lower the cholesterol in hopes to prevent the heart attack. But I will say with 100% confidence that in 2019, there is still yet to be a study that shows the reduction in deaths by heart attack from lowering a cholesterol. The significance of lowering the cholesterol and the significance of lowering the risk of death are still not correlated in 2019. And I'll tell you, as a physician, as an internist, it took me some really careful, quiet reflection over these studies to be able to say, oh, I was duped. I mean, I was looking at what the advertisements to the drug reps would come in and say, this little bitty relative risk of reducing this number is the heart attack risk. And the truth is when you backed up and you looked at the studies about, well, did it really improve their longevity? Did it improve their quality of life? Did it decrease the overall death rate? The answer was no, it did not. So going back to the person saying, all right, why are we looking at cholesterol? Oh, you want me to predict heart attack?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we have some really good things that are going to predict heart attack. Let me show you them. Number one biggest predictor of a heart attack is your insulin level. The more insulin you have in your system for the longer period of time, the higher the risk of heart attack. So there's a study out there that looks at men, and I know it's just men, but just hang with me. This is a really good study. 25 years we followed them. They did not have the diagnosis of diabetes. So you think, oh, you're talking that diabetics have heart disease. Yes, they do have lots of heart disease. But we're going to study people who don't have diabetes. And by the way, if you get diabetes, they threw them out of the study. So here they tracked them for 25 years, and they looked at a panel of lab tests from cholesterol to good cholesterol and bad cholesterol and fluffy cholesterol and testosterone and several other things. But one of the biggest predictors of a heart attack was how often was their insulin found to be high. And so when they divided this out into the 5 groups of here, these people had the lowest amount of insulin and these people had the highest amount of insulin, it was a direct link. The higher their insulin over time, the more likely they were to have a heart attack. And it was not subtle. You did not need to have a tweak of the numbers. It was a very clear correlation that if your Dr. Boz ratio, which is what insulin is high, you have a higher risk of a heart attack. This was a better predictor than cholesterol. So there's that step one. If we're predicting heart attacks, cholesterol is not your friend for the predictor. But the other part that I like people to remember is when they say, Dr. Bosworth, I heard, because there are some really great biohackers out there who've like checked their cholesterol over and over again. Dave Feldman is one of the funnest ones to watch. He's got that engineering brain, and he's really using his own body and his own experiments to look at what does cholesterol do. And they'll say, I've been watching him, and when he went on that ketogenic diet, his cholesterol went up. And I'm like, yes, it did. And that is okay. And if you look, he really does unpack this well. So if you haven't checked him out or watched his, blogs or his videos, they're very informative, because he talks about how when you put fat in your body, you need to move the fat around. And those little carriers that move fat, because our blood is water soluble. So cholesterol or fat it needs a protector. It needs a little casing to circulate in our system. And those casings are called cholesterol. So when you put more fat in your body, when you eat higher fat, the cholesterol is going to go up. But the predictor of a heart attack does get better if you increase that fat in the setting of low carbohydrates. And that has been what Dave Feltman has done just a wonderful job of outlining, of educating patients, and really being able to use his own system to say, yeah, this is how it works and this is how your body will respond. So that might be a little bit long explanation, but I think it's a powerful teaching moment that when you want to predict what your cholesterol is going to do, the number of ships that are going to carry fat around your body are going to rise. That is what happens when you eat a high-fat diet. But the number of triglycerides are going to go down, and those are also a very powerful predictor of heart disease. So those go less, and the healthy cholesterol rises. And again, that is a predictor for when the healthy cholesterol is lower. That was another very good predictor of a heart attack. So the good cholesterol rises, the triglycerides sink, and that is protective against a heart attack.
Awesome.
So well, this is good because this was 2013, 2016, and then it was about a month before we met, which was August of 2018. And you were keto on this last cholesterol, that August 2018, but you were not keto in 2013. And I can't remember, maybe it was right at the cusp when you were starting in 2016. Is that right?
Yes.
No, 2017. No.
That's right. In 2017.
That's when you started. Because
yes,
it's 19 and you've just made it to the 2-year mark, right?
Yes.
Okay. So both of those first two are your low fat times, and the third one is your low carb.
That's right.
What my brain instantly does is I look at the HDL to triglyceride ratio and just look at your HDL. So when you were low fat, your HDL, your healthy cholesterol, was 63 and then 59. And when you look at your high fat time, when you're keto, that HDL is 85. That is so powerful to say you are moving food around. You are moving that fat from into the cells, repairing cells, delivering it to the different parts of your body. And that HDL is a huge scavenger that you continue to recycle during that time. I look at the triglycerides of the 177, and I would contend that you fasted longer for the first two, as opposed to how long you fasted for the August 2018 one. Now, when I see a triglyceride that goes up on keto, it's almost always associated with either they didn't respect their fast as much as I would have asked them to, like they had, whether it's a sugar-free coffee or something before they had their blood tested. So I would challenge you to say, I wonder if we could go back to time and really study how long you fasted before that August 2018 draw versus the other two.
I don't think I've ever fasted for a draw. I haven't. No, nobody ever asked me to. So
it's a really common mistake in medicine, and you're just like, okay.
They just take my blood. I have never been asked to fast taking those blood numbers. Never.
Sometimes medicine is just, it's got all these messy human beings in it.
I know.
Doctors. So if we check your cholesterol again, we are totally going to give you at least a 12-hour fast before you do that. And I would contend that we would be really strict about that 5 o'clock rule that you've been doing, where you did salt until the 5 a.m. in the morning. I would absolutely do that with the next time we checked your cholesterol. So
please subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos. Stay tuned.